Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. Well, it looks like Call of Duty Black Ops 6, one of the most anticipated games of the year that has gotten fans around the world super excited. The gameplay looks great. A lot of people absolutely love the beta. The trailers look literally good, and it looks like it actually might be a proper return to form for the Call of Duty franchise that the last few entries have disappointed some of the fans, to say the least, out there. Well, it looks like it's been canceled. Ladies and gentlemen, this game will not be releasing in any way, shape, or they will not be releasing. There are already refunds being issued for the pre-orders, and it's a very, very tragic thing to see for all of the wonderful Call of Duty fans out there in Kuwait. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Call of Duty 6 has now been canceled in Kuwait. And yeah, the Kuwaiti government and of course Activision out there has come out and released a statement talking about this fact and how all of the Kuwaiti people and all of the fans out there, that even though they got to play the beta, are now for some reason not going to be able to play the full game when it launches here very shortly, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure this is going to be a very disappointing announcement for all of the fans out there of Call of Duty that live over there in Kuwait, and maybe even some of our boys and girls out there, our soldiers and airmen, Marines, and all those kind of folks out there, are servicemen and women out there who might be living in Kuwait and who might have to wait to get this game until they move back stateside. It's just a very tragic event, and hopefully they'll end up getting this worked out. But we're going to check out this article from Bounding Into Comics, getting all of the juicy details and see exactly what the announcement has said and what the hopes for when this game might actually be released in Kuwait will be. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing, and I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below. Are you surprised that the Kuwaiti government would move to have something like this removed, considering the context of the game and considering the historical precedents and where it's set out right there right now? Are you someone who actually lives in Kuwait and you're very sad and disappointed to hear about this, and you're hoping that this gets all resolved very quickly? Let us know what you think about all that in the comment section down below. So from George Arenas over at boundingintocomics.com, Kuwait government blocks release of Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Activision forced to cancel local pre-orders and offer refunds, which always sucks for any company out there to have to do. So just days before its global launch, the government of Kuwait has officially announced that they will be blocking Call of Duty Black Ops 6 from releasing inside their borders. The game, which is set to hit store shelves on October 25th, will no longer be available in Kuwait due to a last-minute decision by government regulators. In a statement issued to IGN about the situation, an Activision spokesperson expressed hope that the game would eventually see release inside the country. Call of Duty Black Ops 6 has not been approved for release in Kuwait, and the spokesperson. At this time, the title will not be available for release in the region. As a result, all pre-orders in Kuwait will be canceled and refunded to the original point of purchase. We remain hopeful that local authorities will reconsider and allow players in Kuwait to enjoy this all-new experience in the Black Ops series. What a tragedy. As of the writing, neither Activision or anyone from within the Kuwaiti government have provided an official reason for the ban. However, many of the same gamers and industry insiders who raised their eyebrows have speculated the game was banned due to its portrayal of the historical Gulf War. As not only does the conflict hold significant historical and political weight in the Middle East, yeah, Saddam Hussein literally invaded Kuwait. That's the reason why we went into the Middle East to begin with over there and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Not only does, but Black Ops 6 promotional materials feature appearances by numerous world leaders involved in the events, including President George H.W. Bush, UK Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. I always think Margaret Thatcher was like so much farther back, but she's really not all that, but she was literally George W. Bush. She was there during my lifetime. And even Iraqi President Saddam Hussein. In addition to these historical cameos, the game is also set to recreate actual events from the war, including the initial invasion of Kuwait. Given the sensitive nature of the war in the country's history, it is plausible that the Kuwaiti government took issue with how the events were depicted in the regime. And honestly, it's one of them situations, maybe they have issues with the way they're historically portrayed out there, but literally, like, it's a video game. Like, don't you believe the Kuwaiti people are tougher than that and they can actually handle this kind of stuff? I mean, it's history. It's part of the way of the world that works. So as one would imagine, reactions have been all over the place, with many players racking their brains trying to understand the reasoning behind Kuwait's decision. On Twitter, a user claiming to be located in Kuwait mentioned that they were an active player in the game's beta, and even though they were just now hearing of the game bans for the first time. I'm a Kuwaiti, and so far we haven't heard any mention of that through official sources, in which case this would be the Ministry of Information. I played the beta. Let's see. Another user out here said Golden X said F's in the chat for Kuwait. Yes, indeed. F's in the chat for Kuwait. F's in the comment section down below for all of our Kuwaiti brethrens over there who really wanted to play Call of Duty's Black Ops 6 on launch. And this one from Centric. Really? Sounds like they're going to have to Kuwait to play it. I mean, honestly, it's probably better than any jokes I could have come up. So that's the way it goes. And while the people of Kuwait will in fact have to wait to an eventual release date, for the fans across the rest of the world who are anxiously prepping for the game's release by getting their best "I'm too sick to come to work today" speech ready, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is still on track to hit shelves globally on October 25th. So that will be this weekend. So yes, indeed, boys and girls, Black Ops 6 has indeed been canceled in the country of Kuwait. Issues have indeed been refunded, and unfortunately, all of the Kuwaiti players and fans out there of the Black Ops franchise out there will now have to wait until their government pulls their head out of their butts and absolutely believes that the people of Kuwait can indeed handle any kind of historical changes, or maybe even some slight changes, or maybe just an accurate representation of what the war had to do with, because their people are strong and can handle that kind of stuff. Clearly, the Kuwaiti people out there, or clearly the Kuwaiti government does not out there believe that the Kuwaiti people are strong enough to hold up to this kind of stuff and handle it, and their sensitivity must be respected. I, for one, believe the Kuwaiti people will be just fine out there handling this game, and it should be released immediately for them to all enjoy, because it's not fair that the rest of the world gets to enjoy this game and the Kuwaiti people will only have it canceled. That's not fair, that's not right, and y'all should straighten this out, because at the end of the day, you will get what you deserve from your people over there, and maybe they'll vote a slightly different way going forward.